I've personally not seen NPP4 reports. Professor Michael Kwe, yeah, Embra Womulusu elections, no. I don't think, say, NPP ne kra we hu. Say mpanyifo no pe no mo akenkan. But I can predict, say, reports ni mu no. Omo can bibi wom say, omo vote base ewo Ashanti region, no. Eba form. And so they have to do something. Now, I personally believe, say, that is the reason why this whole week, from last week, any this week, Ninano, NPP4 I try say omobe incite the Ashantis against the NDC. You know, there have been a lot of stories this whole week. Ubehu na NPP akwakotina baby and the Asante4 and the way NDC4 mpemo and the Asante4 NDC4 person mu kumo and the say ni say the level of tribal politics across the week we more echinda. And I strongly believe say recommendation him no omu say Ashanti region, they are losing the grip over there. Now, they are not ending there. Jifa Gomashi MP for Ketu South. Baby, I'm me free, right? My hometown, Ketu South. Now, Osanso double as the Minister for Tourism and Culture. Now, Ghana today, yen say Ghana today, pro MPP, MPP4, omo news outlet, omo JANDAM propaganda. Ghana today, the post biba betu ja, asema womo kane say, Jifa kumashia kwa kasa etia Asante4. Because almost say Jifa kumashia kwa kasa, people who speak Chi are a very lazy group of people. Ghana today in some more canon. So Jifa Gumashi is from the Volta region, and then Ghana today belongs to the NPP. And they are saying this. So obviously, Ubehune say it is a move. Asante ni hua, ni bubefu, why na ekasa no? Ofri Volta region, Aigbeni, any Aigbeni de ze kan, omo de omo mpe ya sepsa, yesanso ye NDC ni Inti, a move, NPP4. Omo person omo ya, omo de incite people against Evers, and most importantly, the NDC. But me pesi e koko tie, Gifago machine semu a wakan ya, NPP4, edenam se wakwa kasa asemwe. Yentie interview na waye no, asemu a wakan.
Commissions. So you have the Hausa Commission, then you have the Ever Commission, then you have, I think, Kiswahili and others. So it's languages that are spoken in 1, 2, 3 or more countries. Take Ever, for example. So Ever is spoken in Ghana, Togo, Benin, and some part of Nigeria. Ever is a course studied in German, in one of the German universities. So you cannot say that because it's not spoken by majority people in Ghana, then it should die. Its death will go with everything else within that cultural space. And that's why UNESCO says prod these languages up, which is why a day has been set aside to be celebrated as the International Mother Language Day. So your mother tongue is yours. And who says you speak 7 languages? Why should we reduce it to 1 because the rest are lazy in learning other people? Well, lazy.
Maybe they're not exposed. Maybe
you are not exposed to it.
Or not exposed to it. So if we say, for instance, in Ghana, maybe Twi is mostly spoken. So people say, let's just make Twi our national language. You don't think that's
I think
fair?
we'll be trampling on the sensibilities of other people and their cultures and their language. And so it's not, as I said, it's not a thing that I'll be championing.
So basically, that's the video. Maybe I now want to common as sentimental tremo. Now, Jifa Gumashi, a tourism minister, right? As I said, tourism and culture. Language is part of culture. Now, and komo a young for in fact, Melody Scrano, me wo, nipa bako a no framing, and then we have this discussion. A young uncle for cancer Ghana, we need to have a national language. Inti ye nina ye nti asiyese ebia ye nina ye be country. Okay, and then Jifa Gumasi is saying, say that is not right, because we are people of different languages. So okoka se ye nina ye nko country ya. Wo kan obi language ashe, o be ma wo bi language ewu. You know, there are people, obi wo hɔ me a me mo ka say, I am an ever, but mete mitumika fanti, mitumika asanti twi, misia asanti twi e wo school. What you say? And I can speak ever as well. I know of people in my family who are evers who can speak Ga because they've learnt it. Kasa ba kwa me pese misia kapa eye Ga. Minti Ga, but me pese misia. What you say? I know of people who can speak Ga. They are evers. They've made the effort to learn Ga. They can also speak Chi. There are a lot of people like that in this country. Inti asemwa jifa gomasi can say. Di enti ana mo pese ye jai obi akasa ni ye nina ye kokofa Chi say ye can. Just because certain people are lazy to learn other languages. Onboarding onka say Chi for ye lazy. But an ekran no video na or retract ye enoka say well maybe not lazy. They are not exposed to. So she used the right frame. Okay? And just say I can say Encrophony is lazy. Initially, you know, she was trying to send a message across because yes, indeed, if me person mission kasa fofra, I have to make an effort to learn the language. The people who have learned other languages, they made the effort to learn those languages. It is a woka say yencha obi akasa mbo. Nye na yemfa kasa baako pe a asemo a wo kan say dabi. Make the effort and learn other languages. Me ma meka say obi nyan ne de no mra besua wo de. Unsu ko sua obi de. De nza na won bezo besua obi de na so obi mra besua wo de. That is her move. That is what she was saying. That is the meaning behind what she said. And she didn't even mention Chi. She didn't mention that Gomba. Him say Kasane Dagbani. I don't know. She didn't even mention any language. She didn't mention Obi in crying neighbor to me as Oyaka say Asema Jifagban she can maybe Okasetia and crying for how do you know? And so for NPP to come and post this to say Jifagoma she say omo country ni na a lazy group of people you see what is happening? When NPP for omo person mo ye. They seriously want to incite Ashantis against the NDC and against Evers. And so you understand the point I made earlier. Say, probably maybe reports. Professor Michael Kwe Edebaye no. Omu who say Asante main vote ya womunya no. Omu lusu. Inti deni ebeye. Yemma Asantefu who ne say NDC 4 time omu. Yemma Asantefu who ne say Evers time omu. Inti this whole week. What's your agenda na? Sa. Because what they are saying, you've watched the video. That is not what Jifagomashi said. And the video is there to prove us all right. You know, it's it's interesting. But we are here. At the end of the day, na nkin ya na ebeka. And yes, answer was here kan. Yewaha yedebeba. Ebusuafo unim se nipa bia no there is the right time e wo se wudidi. There is the right food eye ema wo system no. Nti se wunim na wendidi at the right time obun se wefu ebe sha se eye kese. Na wunim se yare don bebre ti se stroke, cancer, dodo bebre wo ho, BP, diabetes ni nina no yefu kese ene deba. Me amene mo ka se emre bi bae na mefu eni. And the same person me amefu eni. Na nyama miensa ena meyeye. Sa nyama miensa no me dia true book ne title your action plan for weight loss. Book no aton thousands of copies. Omo ato book ni na wo mu edi so ni na no ebe di adanse ese ne book no ama omo so ate asanso ama wo mo efu akofom. Se wo tie me na wo pese wo sote na wo pese we fu kofom. Na ya trel se wan hwe ya obenya diabetes na BP wo so. Na wo pese wo hu nyama wo beye na masa nyama ni na efiri so a pe book we bi na to. Obetumi enya book no ni twi video. Obetumi enya ne ever video. Obetumi enya book no ni PDF 100 cedis per. Number na eda book no so no frɛ. Ofra on sabe kan. Obetumi afrɛ ana obetumi a WhatsApp. Ana say link bi ewo description box ni mo click so na won sanka book no. Oye Ghana ni wa brochire na ope hard copy of the book a. Eno na say obekɔ Amazon na wa search for the title of the book. Otwa ye be ship e de abrel. Me de obi bi ase.